Let's talk about some gay stuff. Have a seat. I don't know if anybody else has noticed this as a queer person, but I've noticed the way I dress is heavily influenced by my sexuality, but also heavily influenced by who I'm around. I am a bisexual woman. My normal style is incredibly quirky, fun. I like to go for things that look a little weird, a little out of the ordinary. That style is not really accepted and received the same way with straight people as it is with queer people. Let me give you an example. If you look at my earrings, I've mixed two completely different pair of earrings together. I will wear this exact same setup of earrings and queer people will come up to me and be like, oh my God, I love that you did that. That's so cool. That's so creative. Straight people will often say, are those supposed to be together? I don't know if I like that. I've noticed the difference between queer people and straight people is that queer people do not put themselves in a box. They love to experiment. They love to be weird. They don't care what anybody thinks. Straight people do what is comfortable. I feel like in queer spaces, there is so much room to actually express yourself physically, and in straight spaces, it is very clear what is acceptable and what is not. I can move through a queer space dressed in all baggy clothes, or I can show up in a mini skirt, or I can show up in like heels, but like this little weird earring combo, 4 different prints, a tutu, some leggings, and somewhere a queer woman is gonna come up to me and go, love your look. But in a straight space, I might not even get let into the door, truly. And it's very interesting. I've noticed I do it so much myself. Something that I'm actively working on, but I'm also going back and forth between realizing, is it something I need to even work on? Because I feel very comfortable presenting in a super femme, straight, accepting kind of way. But I also feel super comfortable in that queer presentation, but I'm not even sure that it's up to me. There's so many factors at play. 1, I am black. Not only am I black, I am a dark-skinned woman. For some people, those are 2 strikes. 2 strikes too many, and that's too much other for you to also be dressing like a quirky weirdo. So I go out to a straight club. It's one of those clubs, I live in LA. Clubs here are very exclusive. I should say exclusionary. They exclude a lot of people. This is no secret. You know, if you live in a city like this, especially with LA, the standards are just through the roof. So while it is completely up to that bouncer's discretion, I know for a fact if I looked the exact same way physically that I do now, and I showed up in that weird outfit, like a pink tutu and some pink heels, I am not getting in. And if I do, I'm gonna have to pay one heck of a cover charge. Versus if I show up at my IMG set, which I also love, but it's just different. It's see-through, it's skin tight. I have matching earrings on, some accessories, but still nothing that's she's doing too much. I'm gonna get in and I'm going to reap the benefits of that night. Free drinks, good vibes, it's just different. Like even once you're inside the bar or the club, your treatment is going to be different. And I was watching a comedian special the other day, Dion Cole, and he said, have you noticed that beautiful women are never in the way? Pretend like a beautiful woman is passing by you. What are you gonna do? Oh no, you all right? You okay? You good. It is literally that big of a difference just based on what you're wearing. I could literally be the same person if I was sitting here, even right now on this video, if I was sitting on this video with some skin tight, sort of very femme look, matching earrings, lashes on, nails done, it would be a very different response to this video than the one that I'm going to get from a specific group of people. Make your own assumptions on what that group of people is, but the difference is, it's uncanny. The difference is so apparent. You know how you're going to be treated, but I'm not even sure that there's any solution to feeling like I have to present one way or the other. For me, I think the only solution I've come up with is just becoming more influential, becoming more powerful, becoming more known to the point that it doesn't matter what bar, club, restaurant that I go to and what weird little quirky, stupid looking outfit that I have on that day, I am getting preferential treatment because of who I am and because of my own accomplishments. And that is it. So it's not that I feel like, oh, this entire society shift needs to happen. And I do feel that way in some ways. But I think what's more of an actionable goal is for me to just say, I am going to become elite. Because that's really what it's all about, you know? Like, I don't think anybody's stopping those A-list celebrities at the door and telling them, you're not coming in with those sandals. You know what I mean? That's not to say that I'm just gonna go around looking crazy. I know how to pull a fit together. But I think the way that I move through the world is so largely based on my queer identity and the way that straight people, cis het people perceive that. Let's be very clear. Cisgendered straight people often perceive me when I am in those weird little outfits. It's so funny, dressing a specific way when I go into straight spaces for me is almost like second nature now, to the point where now if I'm getting invited somewhere and I know it's going to be something that's like low-key but like also straight, I genuinely do not know what to wear. Like, it gives me the most anxiety because I really don't know how to operate in an in-between space. Like, I feel like I know exactly what to wear when I'm going to a queer space because the options are literally whatever I feel that night. Because I know regardless, my community is going to accept me. They're still going to see me as that same person. They might not like my outfit, but they're not going to be like, she's unattractive because she has on different earrings. Whereas when I go to a straight space, I feel like the vibe is like, she looks weird. She looks a little odd. She's kind of cute, I guess, if you're into that sort of weird girl, quirky aesthetic. But it's just very interesting to me that in straight spaces, you don't really get to play around with your style. You don't get to be as experimental. And if you are, people really look at you very weird. And I feel like even in those straight spaces, the people who are experimental aren't really that far from being palatable. I feel like even in those straight spaces, you might see somebody with like some Rick Owens on, or you'll like see somebody who has on like a red jacket or something, but like it's never too far out of what's acceptable. Like, it's unacceptable for a man to be in a skirt. You're not gonna see that in a straight space. You're just not. At least not here. At least not from my experience, because it's too weird. It's too queer. It's too different. And people are gonna look at you and they're gonna go, why is he wearing a skirt? So it's very interesting. I don't know if anybody feels this way and feels that being queer has really shaped the way they dress themselves and the way they move through the world, specifically when it relates to style. I feel like when I'm around queer people, I can do no wrong. I can wear a suit one day, look super dapper. I can wear completely baggy clothes. I can be super femme. I can be super femme, but also a little weird. And it's just open. It's open to interpretation. It's open to whoever. It's just good vibes. I don't have to worry about them being like, she can't get in, like, she can't come in because she's dressed weird. But in straight spaces, it's just not like that. And I mean, I guess to add another layer to that, hey, maybe I am just privileged, and maybe queer spaces are also super exclusionary, and I just personally don't see it. Yes, I do feel like a lot of those queer spaces are super white dominated. Maybe I've just been too fortunate enough to not have to experience any situations like that. Do you know what I mean? And even in straight spaces, maybe there are super cool, like, I definitely do think there is like a group of creatives in LA that are just super cool, and like some of them identify as straight and they like my outfits, but I just think the ratio is so crazy. I can feel it in the air. I know that if I'm going out to 2 different places, it's just 2 different looks that I have to give. And I have to, quite honestly, even if it sounds a little sad, I have to tone down my style to fit into a straight space. And then in a queer space, go nuts. It's a free-for-all. I don't know if anybody can relate to that, but I just wanted to kind of talk about that. I adore you guys. Let me know if you want any more of these videos in the comments. Like, subscribe. As always, I'm so thankful for my community. Bye.